वॉइस देख लेना. Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have the Hindu newspaper analysis dated 31st of July 2023. And in today's newspaper analysis, we are going to cover all those important articles that were there in the editorial section and also in other parts of the newspaper. We have also included some questions for the prelims exam and also for the mains exam. So let us quickly start the discussion of the Hindu newspaper. So these are the list of articles that we are going to cover in today's section, okay, today's discussion. And apart from this, we have also mentioned the relevance from which section it is important. We have mentioned over here. Then in all, we are going to cover about 14 articles today, okay. So we are going to discuss, it says, bitter truths in Maharashtra's sugar fields, okay. So this article has been written by let's say some of the prominent research scholars, and they have mentioned about some of the problems that are associated with sugar industry which is located in the state of Maharashtra. So since this is related to a particular industry, so that's why this topic is important for GS paper 3 of the mains exam. It is important for GS paper 3 of the mains exam. And also, since this particular topic discusses about some policy measures that the state government of Maharashtra should take, so this is also important for GS paper 2. So let us quickly start the discussion on this topic. So name of the topic is Bitter Truths in Maharashtra's Sugar Fields. So bitter truths in Maharashtra's sugar fields. So this topic is related to sugar industry. Which industry we are going to talk about? Sugar industry. Basically, like Maharashtra, the state of Maharashtra is one of the, okay, is one of the topmost producers of sugarcane in India, okay. So Maharashtra is one of the top producers, okay, one of the top producer of sugar in India. And recently, like this particular thing has also been mentioned in the economic survey of this year, okay. So since Maharashtra is a topmost, like one of the top producers of sugar in India, so like in Maharashtra, in sugar industries, many people, many workers are working. And these workers are coming from remote areas, okay. They are coming from remote areas of Maharashtra, okay. And also there are some workers who are coming from other states, okay. Some workers who are coming from let's say remote and rural areas, they are from Maharashtra. But apart from this, we also have interstate, okay, interstate workers, okay. Interstate workers means like people who come from other states and they work in sugar industry in India. And in sugar industry, right, in Maharashtra, there is a system which is in place. That system is known as Mukaddam system, okay. That system is known as Mukaddam system. So we will discuss about what is this Mukaddam system. Mukaddam system. So this system is in place in Maharashtra for a long period of time. So under Mukaddam system, they have a, let's say like union. They have a union of laborers, okay, laborers, or it's a kind of system where what they do, they supply laborers or laborers, okay, they supply laborers in sugar industry. But these laborers are supplied by the Mukaddam, right, by the Mukaddam at a cheap cost, okay, cheap cost. and these laborers who are working in the let's say as part of the Mukaddam system, they do not get any kind of social security. They are made available at a very short notice, and they are made available to the sugar industry at a very, let's say, like, fast pace, in the sense whenever they need. So like there are workers who are ready to work. So this Mukaddam system has been working over there for a long time. However, this Mukaddam system also faces certain problems. What are the problems? One thing is exploitation of labor. Okay, exploitation of labor. How exploitation happens? They are given low wage. Okay, let's say they are given low wage. This is one thing. Then they do not have any kind of social security. They do not have social security. And also exploitation is done because they are interstate migrants. Okay, inter or intra-state migrants. Okay, intra-state migrants. So who are coming from remote areas of Maharashtra and also coming from, let's say, some other states. Okay, so that interstate migrant workers are ill-treated. Okay, so there is issue of ill-treatment also of the workers. So the authors in this article, they talk about the rights of the workers. What they talk about? They talk about rights of workers. Okay, they talk about that these workers should be given rights. What kind of rights? And also this article talks about the, let's say, the Maharashtra government must create a favorable legal environment that protects the rights and ensures the safety and of seasonal migrant workers in the sugar industry. Okay, so it talks about that the government of Maharashtra, I'm just writing MH, should create policy. Okay, they should create policy, and also they should enact legislation. Okay, they should enact legislation. Why they should do it? Because they should provide rights to the workers, and they should ensure safety of these workers who are working in the sugar industry. And this topic is very important because here they have mentioned about this Mukaddam system, and in Mukaddam system what they have to do, they have to provide quotas. Okay, in Mukaddam system the workers who are working, they are known as quotas. Okay, they are known as quotas. I mean, like, these are the workers who are working as part of the Mukaddam system. So this Mukaddam, I mean, like, it's a kind of union who is, let's say, looking after the labor supply to the sugar industry. So they are supplying labor, that is known as quotas. Okay, so this is related to this particular topic. You need to read this topic to understand that, like, here they have also mentioned about migration tracking system. They say that the government of Maharashtra should have a migration tracking system, so that, like, they can ensure that these migrant workers are treated well, these migrant workers are safe and secure in the state of Maharashtra. And also here they have talked about national education policy, they have talked about, let's say, UNESCO report, and also UNICEF report related to rights of the let's say rights of the migrant workers, and like rights of their children for getting education, right? So these are the things. So with this, like, we have a question for prelims exam related to this topic. This is related to UNESCO. I mean, like, here in this article they have mentioned about UNESCO. So let's read about this topic. It says, with reference to UNESCO, consider the following statements. Okay, its headquarter is located in Paris. This statement is right. Second, UNESCO's programs contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals 2030 agenda. This is also right. Many of the UNESCO program, like UNESCO stands for United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. So if they promote education, right, so that's also a part of Sustainable Development Goal. If they, let's say, are doing something related to let's say, scientific things, so that's also a part of Sustainable Development Goals. So both these statements are right, and here they are asking which of these statements are incorrect. This is very important for us to note. Okay, they are asking about which statement is incorrect. So none of this statement is incorrect. It means option D will be the right answer in our case. Okay, option D should be the right answer and will be the right answer. So with this, We will see the solution also to this question. Explanation is given. In your free time, you can download the PDF from the description of the YouTube video, and you can go through the explanation to understand it more. So we have another topic. It says rap on the knuckles. Okay, rap on the knuckles. So it says Supreme Court has tried to hold states and center to account on mob violence. Okay, states and center to hold account on mob violence. So recently what has happened, there were cases that were filed in the Supreme Court of India by various interested parties, and they have filed cases against many state governments and the central government, because since the present government came into power, the NDA government came into power. Okay, so National Democratic Alliance, so NDA government came into power, which is led by BJP as a party. So since they came into power, what has happened, the country has seen increased, let's say, incidences of mob violence. We have seen increased incidences of mob violence. Okay, so we have seen and why mob violence is happening? It is happening because of certain reasons. One of the reason is, let's say, these people are feeling, most of the people are doing cow vigilantism. Okay, cow vigilantism means in the guise of protecting cows, what they are doing, they are attacking the minority communities. They are attacking Muslims, they are attacking other minority communities, and people have filed cases in Supreme Court of India. One of the cases, Tehseen S. Poonawalla versus Union of India, right? In that case, right, the Supreme Court of India has said that Supreme Court of India has said that it is the sacrosanct duty of the state to protect the lives of its citizens, and that the authorities have the principal obligation to prevent vigilantism of any kind. Okay, so that was one of the case. And apart from this, many cases have been filed in the state of Maharashtra, Odisha, Rajasthan, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and Haryana, right? So again, the Supreme Court of India has called these parties, these states and the central government, and they have asked the central government to, let's say, bring forward all the incidences, right, all the incidences of this mob violence. And also they have directed that the state governments and the central government should take certain measures so that they can stop, okay, so that they can stop any mob violence from happening. Okay, there should be stringent laws in place related to this. And you might be knowing some of the state government have also already come up with laws to let's say, to prohibit any incidents of mob violence or cow vigilantism to happen, right? So that's the thing. So with this, we have another topic. This is a quick topic we are going to discuss about it. It says a crisis of academic ethics in India, right? Crisis of academic ethics in India. So it says two of the biggest problems are data manipulation and plagiarism. So let us understand this topic in detail. A crisis of academic ethics in India. Now, in this article, the author is talking about those institutions that are working in research and development, okay? Research and development. Particularly in this article, they have talked about research, right? Research work. So if I talk about research work, so many aspirants who are doing, let's say, PhD, who are pursuing PhD. So what they are doing, basically they have to submit some research papers. They have to submit research papers as part of their curriculum. As part of their curriculum, they have to submit research papers, right, to complete their PhDs. And it has been noted that in India, the quality of research work that is being done, that have been done in the past, they are not of very good standard, okay? They are not of, let's say, international standards. They are not of international standards. Although, like, we do have many research institutions in India that are doing, let's say, like, great work in the field of research and development. However, many institutions are there in India where the research scholars are not doing proper work. And here the author did not, let's say, point out any research institutions. They have pointed out, those people who are doing research. The author has talked about that, like, while submitting the thing, so many of these research scholars or many researchers, what they do data manipulation. Okay, they do data manipulation, and also they do plagiarism. Okay, data manipulation means, like, let's say if you have to come up with some kind of experimental data, so instead of quoting the right data, what they do, like, they pick data from here, there, and they put it in their research paper. And also, like, in many cases people are copying, let's say, like, information from here, there, and all, and putting it into the research paper. So that is known as plagiarism. So these two are, the prominent or biggest issues related to academic ethics in India, because it has been noted that recently the author has mentioned that, like, one of the let's say director or head of a foreign university, okay, one of the head of the foreign university, he has recently resigned from his post. Why? Because, like, there was an investigation on the paper that he has submitted while he was a student, and it was found that he was involved in data manipulation and plagiarism. And in India also there are many cases where, like, people are head of, let's say, some academic institutions, and these people have submitted their research work, and those research work has some amount of plagiarism and data manipulation. So the author says that people find it easy to do these things in India because, like, we are not holding people accountable, and we are not let's say, like, doing our best to bring a notion of ethics in academics. Okay, a notion of ethics in academics. So that's why the author says, author has given example of Japan, that in Japan, if, let's say, in a class test or in any test, if one student is trying to do any cheating, so others are there who will stop that person from doing cheating, because, like, they have imbibed their culture in that manner. And in India, what happens, if a person is doing cheating, the other person helps that person, thinking that he is my friend, I am supporting my friend, like that. So that should not be the culture. We should not be promoting that culture in India. We should be promoting a culture of high-end research and growth. And the author has said that the government of India has announced for creation of National Research Foundation. Okay, it has announced for creation of National Research Foundation, NRF. Okay, and this NRF is going to foster a spirit of research and development in India. Okay, and this particular body, I mean, like, a bill has been placed in the parliament to establish this body, which is National Research Foundation. However, the author says, like, in India we do have certain institutions like CSIR, Center for Scientific and Industrial Research, like that. So we have many CSIRs, and these CSIRs have placed some ethics code. Okay, they have placed some ethics code or code of ethics for academics, right? So author says, barring few topmost research and development institutions that have their, let's say, ethics code in place, right, code of conduct for doing research in place, but, like, it is not in place in many other academic institutions in India. So the author wants to highlight that India should focus on doing high level research and development in various fields of academic studies and all. So this is related to that thing. This topic may be important for your GS paper 4, ethics, integrity and aptitude. Okay, so this talks about academic ethics. So this is the syllabus part of it. You may go through it in your free time. Then we have another topic. This topic is also very important. It says hurdles to overcome before becoming digital India, right? hurdles to overcome before becoming digital India. So it says, while digital transactions have increased substantially, India's performance is unimpressive compared to that of other developing countries. Okay. So you might be knowing that we have started promoting the idea of Unified Payment Interface, UPI, since the year of 2016. Okay. So there were two incidences that has led to wider adoption or more adoption of Unified Payment Interface. One of the incidents was demonetization. One of the incidents was demonetization by the government, and since demonetization happened, so people did not have cash in their hand, so like they were forced or compelled to use UPI, right, in many cases. That was one thing. Second incidence was COVID-19. Okay, COVID-19. So COVID-19, like we had to maintain social distancing, and for maintaining social distancing it was preferred to not do any payment through physical cash. So that's why people have adopted doing UPI through these two instances. And like the volume and the amount of transaction, the number and volume of transaction has increased manifold over the past many years. However, like overall, if we talk about overall India, only 35% of the people, right, in India are doing transaction in UPI, using UPI. So like we have very less penetration, and out of that 35, more percentage is from the urban area, very less from rural areas. However, the author has also talked about other developing countries like Kenya, okay, Kenya, and few other countries from African continent. Okay, so from Africa there are many countries where the penetration of digital payment is very high, about 70 to 80% of people in Kenya. So the author says the fact that more than 70% of the population in Kenya was part of digital payment, okay, was part of digital payment, and 87% of people in urban areas were part of digital payment. Okay, so here, although we have made great progress in promoting cashless transaction, in promoting unified payment interface, still like we are lagging behind many other developing countries like Kenya. Like African countries are ahead than us in digital transactions. So like we need to work more so that we can bring more people into the UPI system. And in this article the author has also compared, right, various types of digital transaction. For example, the transaction like NEFT, okay, NEFT, then also IMPS, also card based payments, okay, card payments, etc. So author says that this UPI transaction, I mean like UPI is being done of overall all transaction, 35% of transaction happens in UPI. However, this like earlier we were doing transaction in NEFT. In NEFT it was earlier, let's say 64%, but now it has come down to 54%. Okay, so in NEFT we have seen a decline in the transaction because one has to add the beneficiary, then after adding the beneficiary we need to do the transaction, and like there is a delay, let's say 12 hours 24 hours in doing the transaction. However, in UPI payment, UPI is a real time payment. Here the payment happens in real time basis. And also if I talk about IMPS also is a real time payment that happens. Okay, these two are real time payments that happen. So the author says that these two are real time thing, so that's why people are adopting UPI. However, there has not been any significant decline in IMPS or card payments. Okay, card payment there was some decline, but like IMPS, since it is a real time payment, so that's why it is there is no decline in that thing. Okay, so through this article the author has talked about digital payment, right, adoption of digital payment in India and penetration of digital payment in India. So we are still lagging behind many developing countries like Kenya. Many African countries are ahead of us, so we need to do more. We need to bring the awareness among people that they should do UPI. Okay, so UPI has been introduced, so like we are going to solve this prelims question, and also we are going to, let's say, discuss about this mains question that we have included. So this question, it says, with reference to the National Electronic Fund Transfer, NEFT, this is the full form of NEFT, consider the following statements. One of the statement, it says, it was introduced by the Reserve Bank of India, NEFT. This statement is right. Second, it says NEFT is a real-time settlement solution. It is not a real-time settlement solution. Means, like, the moment you do the transaction, it does not reflect in the bank account of the other party. You need to first add the beneficiary, and that beneficiary adding is a long process, and NEFT generally happens during the banking hours. Okay, it happens during the banking hours. That's the thing. So it's not a real-time settlement solution. So now they are asking which of the above statements is or are correct. So correct statement would be option A. Statement 1 will be the correct statement. Okay, option A, 1 only. Now we have a question for you for mains. It says, what are the vision of digital India? What are the current hurdles that are needed to overcome before becoming digital India? Okay, so this is a question that you need to solve, and after writing an answer, you can share your answer with us at evaluation. Okay, evaluation at lukmaanias.com. Okay, evaluation at lukmaanias.com. You need to share your answer with us on this email ID. So we will evaluate and share the evaluated copy back with you. Okay, so that's how we are including the questions for prelims and mains also. So it is going to help you, right, in your preparation for CSE. With this, like, this is the solution of the question. You can go through the explanation in your free time. Along with this, let us see another question. It says, 100 years ago. So this is a topic, I mean, like, on this day, what has happened 100 years ago. So this topic is related to Indian Cess committee. Okay, Cess, I mean, like, you know, Cess that is applicable on Indian Cess committee was, let's say, constituted nearly, I mean, like, 100 years ago. So it is known as Indian Cess committee. It was resolved that proposals made by Mr. Harold, I mean, like, you know, some information is given related to Indian Cess committee, and they have applied Cess, like, you know, they wanted to do advertisement of Indian tea in the United States of America. For that, they have approved some kind of Cess. Okay, so this is for that thing. And the like, who was the chairman of this committee? The Honorable Samuel J. Best, chairman of the committee. So that's the thing. Okay, this is just a quick information related to the prelims exam, that, like, this Cess committee was constituted 100 years back, right from now. So this is just information on that regard. This is a very, very important topic. It says, what is Sam Altman's biometric project? Okay, so who is Sam Altman? Sam Altman is the founder of ChatGPT. All of you might have heard about or used ChatGPT so far. We know that ChatGPT is a generative artificial intelligence, right? It is a generative AI, and it generates answers like a human being. And in many cases, it generates very, let's say, like, you know, top level answers to certain questions that you ask to ChatGPT, right? So this Sam Altman, who is the let's say, like, you know, founder of this ChatGPT or OpenAI. So the company that has made ChatGPT, it's known as OpenAI. So its founder is Mr. Sam Altman. He has started a project, and name of that project is known as World Coin Project. What is the name of the project? It is known as World Coin Project. Okay, name of the project is World Coin Project. So this project was started by Sam Altman. It was started earlier, but, like, ChatGPT has received huge amount of, let's say, like, you know, support, and a lot of people started using it. So, like, it was a success, you know, launch by Sam Altman. However, he has also launched another project which is known as World Coin Project, and this World Coin Project did not receive, I mean, like, you know, as much, what we say, appreciation as ChatGPT. So he has relaunched this particular project by making an announcement in Twitter. So what is this WorldCoin project? This WorldCoin project is, let's say it's a kind of cryptocurrency. Okay, WorldCoin project is a kind of cryptocurrency. This will work on a platform, Ethereum platform. It will work on Ethereum based platform. So this WorldCoin project, I mean, like if you want to start your account over here, you do not need an email ID, you do not need your name, you do not need information like where do you reside, you don't need any of these information. All you need is, you need to scan your iris, right? You need to scan your iris and it's going to create an account for you in the WorldCoin database. Okay, and then if you scan your iris, you will be given, let's say, some incentive in the form of this WorldCoin. I mean, like, they will give WorldCoin to you, some coins will be given to you, and also which is known as WLD crypto. Okay, World ID will be created. So after then, once your ID is created, then you can do the transactions over there. You can, and if you don't want to, let's say, scan your iris, in that case also, let's say, you can still create your account over there. You can do the transaction, you can do purchase, you can purchase some cryptocurrency from this thing, and the platform, right, where you the device that will be used to create an account over there, it is known as ORB. It is known as orb. Okay, it is known as orb, and there are operators, right, who are operating orb. So they are known as orb operators, and they have launched this particular project in India also. But Sam Altman has said that, like, this biometric project in India, I mean, like, Indian government has started a biometric project that is known as Aadhaar, right? Aadhaar project. So Aadhaar was Unique Identification Authority of India. It was created by them, and it's a, let's say, unique identification authority, unique ID was being given to all the citizens of India. So similar to this, they are doing it, and they are, providing unique ID to, let's say, like, everyone around the world, right? This unique ID will work in this ORB platform, or, like, in the WorldCoin platform, okay, where your account can be created using orb devices, and there are many orb operators, and they have also, let's say, started their operation in India, in Delhi, in Noida, in many other, let's say, like, metro cities. Okay, so this is related to that project. However, Sam Altman says that, like, it does not meddle with any personal data of the users, and also it is compliant with the GDPR regulations. GDPR stands for this General Data Protection Regulation of the European Union. The European Union has come up with GDPR regulations, so they say that it is compliant with General Data Protection Regulation. So this is related to that thing. Okay, so this, you need to remember the name. It is known as WorldCoin project. So this is related to science and technology, and also this is related to economy. Okay, this is related to economy. So let's solve a question related to this. It says, what is WorldCoin project? So you need to, let's say, read that article and you will be able to answer. Why has WorldCoin been criticized, and what danger does it pose? Okay, it is being criticized because it scans the iris, and iris is a biometric data, and biometric data, I mean, like, although after scanning it creates an account, and after some time it deletes the iris scan. However, if the same person scans again, so, like, it is going to match with the existing record, and it is going to identify that it is a duplicate account. Okay, so this is the thing. So with this, like, we have another topic. It says post quantum cryptography, securing data in the age of quantum computers. So we know that quantum computers are the computers that are, let's say, that many companies are working upon. For example, Google, Facebook, or Meta, right, Amazon and IBM, they are working on developing quantum computers. the United States of America is doing, let's say, like, research and development in this field. Government of India has also started a project which is known as National Quantum Mission, right? We want to promote research and development in the field of quantum computers or quantum machines. And we do have, let's say, like, supercomputers in India in many IITs and like many such research and developmental institutions. However, quantum computers work a bit different as compared to classical computers. Classical computers use binary information, like, they use bits, okay, bits in the form of zeros and ones. And in case of quantum computers, they use qubits, okay, they use qubits. And these qubits can have multiple states at the same time. It can be 0 or it can be 1 at the same time. So they use certain principles which is known as principle of entanglement and principle of superposition. Okay, so they use two principles, entanglement and principle of superposition. So they use these two things, these two principles, right? So this quantum computers work on that. And why we are shifting to quantum computers, why we want to have quantum computers? Because quantum computers work on cryptography, okay? It provides more security to the information. It provides more security to the data so that the data theft can be reduced. However, like, in 1994 itself, right, an algorithm was made by a person. His name, it is known as Shor's algorithm. So Peter Shor has given an algorithm, and using that algorithm, even quantum computers can be decrypted. Means information from the quantum computers or quantum systems may be hacked. Okay, these information may be deciphered. So for that purpose, right, so people are thinking that although we are coming up with quantum computers, still the data that is available in the quantum computers are not highly secure because of Shor's algorithm. So there are some other form of, let's say, like, other form of algorithms also developed that is going to bypass Shor's algorithm, that is going to provide more security. So here in this article they have talked about, like, let's say, certain kind of keys like Diffie-Hellman's keys. So this is considered to be more secure, right? But apart from this, like, they have discussed about some kind of algorithm that are being used, in quantum computers. So they have discussed about it. They have discussed about, let's say, science and tech related thing. So basically in classical computers, they operate on bits and they have certain kind of logic gates. These logic gates are known as, like, they have different names: OR gate, NOT gate, AND gate, then we have NAND gate, right? We have NOR gate, we have XOR gate. So there are, different kinds of logic gates that are available, and these logic gates, let's say, work on let's say, like, normal bits. And if I talk about quantum bits, right, so they use these principles and they have different gates altogether. Okay, they have different gates altogether. So here the author has written this article to talk about the security features, to talk about the safety features of the information. So it says that post quantum cryptography, right? So this quantum cryptography is there, but like it does have vulnerabilities. So after this, what? So author says that post quantum cryptography is securing data in the age of quantum computers. So when the quantum computers will be used by people, so how do we safeguard those data? Okay, related to this, the author has written this. So this topic is very important under science and technology. Although like I have not discussed in detail about it, I could have discussed, but it's going to take a longer time, right, to cover this article. However, the scope of the current affair discussion is limited, because we need to discuss only what is there in news, not like go much detail into it, right? So this is a question on this topic. It says, with reference to quantum computers, consider the following statements. One of the statements says they use quantum bits or qubits. Quantum computers use quantum bits or qubits. This statement is right. Second, it says classical physics explain the operation of quantum computers. No. Quantum computers is, talked about by quantum physics. Okay. Quantum physics explains about quantum computers. Okay. Quantum physics explains about quantum computers. Here we have certain principles, principle of superposition and principle of entanglement that actually works. Okay. So now they are asking which of the above statements is or are incorrect. We need to identify incorrect statement. So option 2 is incorrect, right? Statement 2 is incorrect. So 2 only will be the right answer in our case. Okay, 2 only. You can go through the explanation in your free time. Just download the PDF from the description of this video. Okay. Then we have another topic we are going to discuss about it. It says 2 Indian military aircraft visit Australia's strategic Cocos Island. Okay. Now, aircraft means these aircrafts that have visited in the Cocos Island. So they are operated by the Indian Navy and also it is operated by Indian Air Force. Okay. So we have sent some of the aircraft in the Cocos Island, and this Cocos Island, it's a strategic island of Australia. This island belongs to Australia. So this island is also known as, it is also known as this Cocos Keeling Island. Okay, it is known as COCOS, Cocos Keeling Island. Okay, so this is a strategic island. Here they have created a military base and they have allowed Indian aircraft to go over there, and even the Indian Space Research Organization has also partnered with Australia, and it is using, Indian Space Research Organization is using this Cocos Island for the purposes of Gaganyaan mission. Which mission? For the purposes of Gaganyaan mission. So what is Gaganyaan mission? Gaganyaan mission is the human space flight mission of India. We want to send human beings to the space through Gaganyaan mission. So that's a very flagship mission of Indian Space Research Organization that's going to be launched by ISRO very soon, right? We are going to again see a incredible feat of the Indian Space Research Organization through this Gaganyaan mission. So Indian Space Research Organization is also using Cocos Island, and this particular utilization of this island by Indian spacecraft showcases cooperation between India and Australia. It showcases the kind of relationship that we share with Australia. So it talks about synergy in securing the maritime borders, right, by India and Australia in the Indian Ocean region. So if I talk about this Cocos Island, where it is located in Indian Ocean. So we are also going to see the location of Cocos Island now. Okay, so this topic is related to international relations. Okay, it is related to international relations, IR. It's a IR topic. So these images showcase the location of Cocos Island. So we will see the bigger image first. Let's see where it is located. So you see this is the location of Australia, and this is where the Cocos Island located. You see a dot that I have just drawn over here. So this is where we have Cocos Keeling Island here. Very small island over here. Okay. So this is in Australia, and where is India? This is the location of India. Here this is the southern portion of India, like that. Okay. So Indian aircraft have reached here. Why? Because we do have relationship with Australia. So this is the thing. So it is Cocos Island is located in Indian Ocean, right? So it is located in Indian Ocean. So in the Cocos Island they have group of small islands as part of Cocos Island. So they are known as Horsburgh Island, Direction Island, Home Island, then South Island, West Island, South Keeling Island. So these are the islands that are part of Cocos Islands. Okay, their names are important. This name is also important because you should be knowing where these islands are located, and also check on maps and also identify some other islands that are nearby to this island. Okay, so that's the thing. With this, we will solve another question after reading this topic. Okay, so let's read this topic first. It says PSLV puts 7 satellites in orbit, 4 more missions this year. PSLV stands for PSLV stands for Polar Satellite. Okay, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. So Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, using this vehicle, what we do, we launch satellites into the polar orbit. Okay, polar orbit means, let's say this is Earth, and on the Earth we have North Pole, we have South Pole, and we launch the satellite, and that satellite is going to move, revolve in the polar orbit, and these polar orbits are generally known as low Earth orbit. Low Earth orbit. Okay, polar orbits are generally low Earth orbit. So the Indian Space Research Organization, which organization? ISRO. The Indian Space Research Organization has launched 7 satellites. Okay, it has launched 7 satellites using the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. And these satellites, what they have done, okay, they have carried satellites of many other countries. Okay, this PSLV has carried satellites of many other countries. What are those countries? They have carried satellite of Singapore, they have carried satellite of United States of America. There are satellite of many other countries, and in this article they have mentioned about names of all these satellites. And you know that Government of India has recently come up with Indian Space Policy. Okay, it has come up with Indian Space Policy, and in that Indian Space Policy they have mentioned about the roles of Indian Space Research Organization, role of Department of Science and Technology, role of New Space India Limited, which is in short known as NSIL, and role of another body also that was created recently by the Government of India. Okay, so these satellites were part of, let's say, a project of the New Space India Limited, which is a commercial wing of the Indian Space Research Organization. So earlier ISRO was doing all the activities related to space in India. However, recently Government of India has created other bodies also. For example, New Space India Limited, and it has created another body. I'm just not getting the name now. So the Government of India has divided the roles and responsibilities among these bodies, because they want that Indian Space Research Organization should focus on doing research and developmental work. Okay, should focus on doing R&D work. And apart from this, the other bodies should look into other affairs related to space. Okay, so NSIL was there. Then we have Department of Space also, which is going to work on these areas, regulatory affairs related to space matters in India. Then we have another topic which says, despite age ratings, film censorship continues to stay. Okay, so recently the Government of India has proposed or introduced the Cinematograph Act. Okay, the Cinematograph Amendment Bill. Okay, they have introduced Cinematograph Amendment Bill 2023 in the Parliament. Okay, and after introducing this bill, what it is going to do? It is going to, let's say, do some amendment in the Cinematograph Act, which is already in place. And so the thing is, earlier there was categorization of film in different categories like UA and all. UA stands for, let's say, underage and adults. So any movie where, let's say, a person of 12 years, right, if he wants to go to see that movie, he needs to accompany, right, accompany with an adult. Only then they will be allowed to see that movie. And some movies were categorized as A category. I mean, like, you know, only adult people, right, you know, having sexual content, nudity, etc., only they will be able allowed to see that movie. Okay, so earlier the categorization was like that, but however the Cinematograph Amendment Bill has proposed that like this category should be changed to UA 7 plus, UA 13 plus, okay, UA 13 plus, then UA, okay, UA 16 plus, like that. So a person who is above the age of 7 plus, he can go directly without accompanying a adult to see that movie. Then a person above the age of 13 years, he can go and let's say see a movie like, you know, categorized like that. So these categories will be followed by all those people who are making the movie and who are releasing the movie in cinema halls. However, there is a concept of OTT nowadays, like people are also watching movies on over the top platforms. There, although these categorizations will be followed, however censorship is limited over there, because like we do have a body which is known as CBFC, okay, Central Board for Film Certification. Okay, so like Government of India wants to retain the power of censorship with this particular body. So the author criticizes the move of the government. He says that like, you know, these categorization does not make any sense. Why? Because recently one of the director of a movie, I mean like he has been director, he has been filmmaker, he is a parliamentarian also, and he has given some examples why these categories, let's say like, you know, do not make any sense to them. Why? Because if there is a producer, he wants that his audience should be all India level. I mean like people from everyone in India should watch his movie. So he will make a movie which should be like, you know, of the category of U, means underage people can watch that movie. Only then let's say the audience will be all India level audience. And if he wants to restrict his, let's say, movie to only adults, so he will make such explicit movie for which he gets A category. And all these minute categories, you know, do not make any sense to the parliamentarian. So these were the comments that were made through this article, okay, by the author. So like, you know, this is related to Cinematograph Amendment Bill. And also earlier we have also talked about some other provision of this bill. And through this bill they want to make, let's say like, you know, copying a film a punishable offense. And that punishment is very high, I think up to 10 years of imprisonment or 3+ years of imprisonment with, let's say like, you know, 5% or 10% of the making charges can be, making charges for the movie can be imposed as fine to a person who is trying to copy or record that movie in a cinema hall. So that's the thing. Now we have another topic. This topic says semiconductor mission not limited to domestic demand. Okay, so this statement has been made by the External Affairs Minister of India, Mr. S. Jaishankar. Okay, so recently the Prime Minister of India has attended the Semicon India Conference 2023. Which conference? Semicon India Conference 2023. And related to this conference, earlier also, like, you know, article came. And we discussed about like what the Prime Minister of India has talked. Prime Minister of India has made a strong pitch, you know, for all those companies who are working in the semiconductor production, let's say, you know, area. So he has invited all those, let's say, like, you know, multinational companies to invest in India, to start their manufacturing plants in India that is going to manufacture semiconductor chips in India. So related to that thing, the External Affairs Minister has said that making semiconductor is not only limited to science and technological innovation. It is also related to foreign policy matter. It is related to political science, because we are the people who have to decide where to produce, whom to allow to produce in India, what taxes will be implied, and all those things. So like he has discussed about that, like, you know, we want to promote the production of semiconductor in India. However, this semiconductor will not only be produced for India. We want to become a global hub for manufacturing semiconductor in India. And after producing semiconductor chips in India, we want to export it. So that's why we also want to create market, right? We want to create market for semiconductor products that is going to be built in India. So the government of India is working towards promoting, right, the industries that are working in semiconductor production in India. So now we are going to see these questions. This is another question related to mains exam. It says, what is National Semiconductor Mission? How the National Semiconductor Mission will help India to become self-reliant in semiconductor production. So far, India has not focused, on semiconductor production. Earlier, many people who have done their engineering in let's say like these semiconductor related areas like electronics and communication, electronics and instrumentation, many of these people were not getting a job because in India we do not have the facilities of producing semiconductors or chips in India. So we were also losing talent pool of those people like who have graduated using these courses. However, with this policy of the government of India, many employment opportunities will also go up in India, right? So that's the thing. So what you need to do, you need to answer this question and share with us on the same email ID, and we are going to evaluate your answer, and we are going to, let's say, share the evaluated answer back with you. It says, joining China BRI was an atrocious act, Italy minister says. Okay. BRI stands for Belt and Road Initiative. Okay, Belt and Road Initiative. So this is China's Belt and Road Initiative. So Italy became one of the only country from European nations who had joined the Belt and Road Initiative of China. And recently the government, the party has changed in Italy. Earlier there was another party that was ruling in Italy, but now another party has, let's say, came to power in Italy, and they have criticized that minister has criticized Italy's decision of joining the Belt and Road Initiative. However, even after criticizing, he said, although China and Italy are competitive to one another, still, he said that I cannot pull Italy out of the Belt and Road Initiative, because at the same time, China is a friend also to Italy. Okay, so these are the things. So this is just an update related to foreign, foreign international relations development in this area. So you can read it. Then we have another topic. It says, High Courts to government ensure 5% quota for differently abled students in educational institutions. Okay. So as you know that in India and elsewhere around the world, we do have people who are differently abled, in the sense who have some or other form of disability, right? And these people, right, need support from the government, they need support from civil society, they need support from their family, right? So related to that, we already have an act which is in place in India, which is known as Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Okay, Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act. Okay, Disabilities RPWD Act 2016. So we do have a act which is in place, which is known as Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, and this particular act gives 5% reservation rights to persons with disabilities. Okay, this act gives 5% reservation rights, that these people will be getting 5% reservation in admission in academic institutions, in admission in educational institutions. However, recently a case was filed against Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University. Okay, Guru Gobind Singh GGS IPU, okay, Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, there was cases that like they have not admitted people, right, having disabilities in their institutions. So this High Court has called, right, this university, and they have called the Delhi government, and they have directed them that this particular provision like should be followed, right, in spirit and letter. So in the case, I mean like the lawyer has said that this Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University has only given 3% reservation to people. However, this university has said that they have given 5% reservation to this. Okay, so this is related to a, let's say, ongoing case, and this is just to highlight that like we have Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act in India that protects the rights of the persons with disabilities, and also it gives reservation rights of these persons in admission in academic institutions. And this is at par with Article 16 of the Constitution of India that talks about, right, that talks about let's say prohibition of discrimination on ground of, let's say, sex or religion, caste, and place of birth, etc., right, in jobs for people and all. So apart from this, we have another topic. This is going to be the last topic for the day. I'll be quick in covering this topic also. It says African leaders leave Russia summit without grain deal. So so as we know that like Russia and Ukraine are going through okay, are going through a series of, let's say, warfare between these two nations. And recently Ukrainian soldiers have attacked through seaborne drone, right, on a strait which is known as Kerch Strait. Okay, they have attacked on Kerch Strait. Strait means it is a narrow channel of water that connects two water bodies. So this Kerch Strait, I mean like it connects Sea of Azov. On one side it connects Sea of Azov, Sea of Azov, and it connects Black Sea. Okay, Black Sea. So there was a Kerch bridge. Okay, there was a bridge which is known as Kerch Bridge, which is located on the Kerch Strait, and there was an attack on this particular bridge. Soon after the attack on this bridge by Ukrainian, let's say, like soldiers, the Russian president, Mr. Vladimir Putin, has announced that it is going to come out of Black Sea Grain Initiative. Okay, Black Sea Grain initiative. So what is this Black Sea Grain Initiative? Under that Black Sea Grain Initiative, the Russian government, I mean like they have allowed the grains from Ukraine to pass through this Kerch Bridge, right? And under this Black Sea Grain Initiative, one of the member is Russia, other member is Turkey, then Ukraine was a member, and also the United Nations is a member of it. But Russia has pulled itself out of this Black Sea Grain Initiative recently because there was an attack on the Kerch Strait. Okay, there was an attack on the Kerch Strait by the seaborne drones, okay, through seaborne drones. So that's why recently what has happened, many African leaders have met with the Russian president Vladimir Putin, and they wanted to discuss with Mr. Putin that Mr. Putin should, let's say, allow Russia to rejoin the Black Sea Grain Initiative, and also allow the supply of grains to happen over there. Why? Because if supply of grain is not happening, right, now the prices of grain has gone up, it has increased. So that's why they have come to persuade the president of Russia related to that. However, these people went back without any success in this thing, and Russian president has said that it is going to share the benefits, okay, of increased price with some of the poorest nations. Okay, some of the poorest nations. Okay, that's the thing. So this is just an ongoing issue. So these things will keep on coming in the news articles, and that's all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending today's session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.